What's up, and welcome into the Bork Report here on Bork News Network. As always, I am your host, Bork, and today got a fun episode. I'm going to be rating all of my favorite Pokemon, or picking all of my favorite Pokemon throughout the years, throughout all the gens, and throughout all the types. Going to get heated in here, aka just by myself, but saw someone else do this the other day. I thought it looked really fun, really want to try it out. So you're going to see me do that. I'm going to change over. So it's going to look like this: normal, fire, water, etc. Go through all the gens, all the Pokemon, pick my favorites. Going to try not to delay this too much. Some other housekeeping before we get started is that, as always, you can expect an episode every Saturday. That is still the plan going forward. If I can't do it on Saturday, I'm trying to record on Fridays and publish it on Saturdays. Other than that, follow me over on TikTok. As a reminder, at GameBork, super easy. Feel free to keep commenting, liking. I really appreciate any interaction. Super fun commenting and talking with that about all the stuff I'm talking about there. So make sure to do that. But without further ado, let's get into this. This is going to be a fun episode. So as I click on it, it's going to pull up the list of all of the options, and I'm just going to, kind of vibe check, pick a Pokemon. And just for your knowledge, I can't pick the same Pokemon twice. So if I pick something in normal and it's normal flying, I can't also pick it in flying. I'm going to try and diversify as much as I can. So starting off with normal Gen 1, I think for my opinion here, it's either Pidgeot or Snorlax. I love both of those Pokemon. I think for the sake of this, I'm going to go Snorlax. I use him in a lot of playthroughs that I go through just because he's so fun. He's tanky. He's got a really good move pool. Super fun to play with. Plus, I can choose Pidgeot for flying if I so choose. I may not. We'll see. Jumping in fire type Gen 1. I'm not a basic boy. I like Charizard. I don't love him. I do think my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon is probably Growlithe. I think he's really cute. I think he's just a fun Pokemon to catch. I do like Arcanine. I like evolving him and playing as Arcanine. But really appreciate fire, Growlithe for that fire type. Water's a big one here. I'm going to scooch over so we can see everything. A lot of options to choose from. And when it comes down to it, I'm not really a Squirtle boy. I am a Bulbasaur guy, enjoyer. So that'll probably be my grass pick, if not my starter pick. But as far as water goes, I would say, based on vibes immediately, I'm going to probably pick Lapras for my favorite water type Pokemon in Gen 1. I think it is just a really cool Pokemon. Again, whenever I get one in a playthrough, I think about using it. If not, I do use it. So with that being said, grass type, I will pick Bulbasaur. I might pick him for starter instead. I'm going to pick Venusaur for grass because I like Venusaur equally to Bulbasaur. Really cool Pokemon. Love the moveset. I love, Sunny Day Solar Beam combo is super fun to do. Electric. This one's probably going to be Zapdos. I have always really been fond of that as far as those three birds go. I think it's the best one by far. I love the spiky nature of it. Really fun moveset. I just think it looks the coolest. I think it has one of the worst shinies, but I do like subtle shinies in some capacity. Ice types. Now this is probably going to be Cloyster because I think it's one of the more viable Pokemon to use competitively. I think it's got a really cool move set, high defense, really fun to use. It's a pretty weak category in my opinion outside of Lapras, which I already picked. So going to stick with Cloyster there. Fighting type, going to go with, this one's got to be a Primeape. I love Primeape. I think he's such a fun Pokemon. I think he's, just hilarious in the show as well. He's always angry. He's always fighting around, going to do some stupid shit. Love me some Primeape. Poison type, I am playing through Fire Red version on my SP right now, and holy hell, I forgot how many poison types Gen 1 has. And it's honestly kind of overwhelming seeing the list here in the flesh. I have really grown fond of Tentacruel. And I'm looking at this list thinking if there's anything else that could take the spot. Obviously, any of the Bulbasaur line could, but in my pick right now, I'm going to go with Tentacruel. I think that's probably the easy pick for me. Ground type, pretty stacked choice list here as far as what I can go with. I think that Nidoking is probably going to be the choice. I do like Sandslash. I think I like Alolan Sandslash a little more, so I'm going to go with Nidoking. And then flying type, it's Gyarados in here looks so weird. I think for Gen 1 it is going to be Pidgeot. I think he's an essential. He's got really great stats. He's, super easy to train up and get to a good spot. I mean, level 36 is a pretty high level for a third evolution, but it's really fun to use, and I've been using it in my Fire Red playthrough, really enjoying that. Psychic type. And for this one, I think it's got to be Alakazam. We got to go with the easy pick there. Super strong. Hate that you have to trade to get him. Bug type, Scyther. Rock type. Some of these I'm going to fly through if it's pretty obvious. I'm not going to try and explain everything. But rock type, I'm going to go with Rhydon. I like Haunter more than Gengar. Dragons, I'm going to go with Dragonite. It's, Dragonair is pretty cool. Dark type, there is no Gen 1 Dark type, so I'm just going to pick the glitched Kabutops. Steel type, 3 is better than 1. Fairy type, God, I hate that Mr. Mime's a fairy. With that being said, I think Mr. Mime is the option for that. And then, like I said earlier, going to go with Bulbasaur for my starter. Gimmick form, aka Megas and Gigantamax. I think that my favorite of the Gen 1 Pokemon is probably Pikachu. And then finally, Mewtwo's got to be my legendary pick. I'm going to save the favorite from Gen 1 till the end. We're going to jump over to Gen 2. And from here, we're going to go... Gosh, this is actually kind of a tough choice, but I think my favorite is probably... Oh, gosh, I don't even know. Porygon 2 is super cool. And then as far as fire goes, I think my favorite is Quilava. My favorite Pokemon of all time is Totodile. I'm going to save him for the starter because I think there's some really good water choices here as well. And I'm not going to pick Kingdra, even though I like it, because Kingdra is the only dragon type in Gen 2. And I think with that being said, I'm going to go with Azumarill. I think Azumarill has been one of those Pokemon I use probably the most in a playthrough if I need some sort of water type. Grass type is kind of weak. I love Celebi and I love Jumpluff, so those are two options there. I'm going to probably go with Jumpluff because I think flying and grass type is kind of a fun combo. It's pretty easy to get in the games, and it's really useful for any playthrough. Electric type Pichu's so cute. Oh god, Mareep is probably the choice though. I am a sucker for round, rotund little boys. As you can see by these last 3 picks, they're all little round guys. Just a round guy. Let's see here. I am gonna go with ice type. I'm gonna go with Sneasel. I think it's gotta be the pick. Maybe I'll change that if I get to dark and can't make a decision. Fighting type, easiest choice of my life. Heracross is obviously the best fighting type in Gen 2. And they really kind of massacred Tyrogue. I think this is one of the worst designs for a Pokemon. I really hate it. I hate leveling it up. I hate balancing the stats to get a specific Pokemon. It sucks. It's terrible. Crobat. It's going to be poison. My ground type love here is going to be showing. I love a lot of these Pokemon. Wooper, Fanpy's super cute. Steelix is awesome. Probably going to be my steel choice. I'm going to stick for that. I'm going to go with Wooper. And then a lot of flyings to go through here, a lot of options. I feel like I'm scared of... no, I think I got this. I think I've got this in the bag. Lugia is going to be my flying type. Psychic, we are going to ignore all of the unknown because that's not getting chose. Although, shout out to Unknown V. I got a shiny one in Soul Silver. That was super fun. And I love Espeon. And I love Celebi. I think I'm going to go with Celebi. And then bug types. Bug. Let's go with Scizor. I think that's an obvious choice. Rock is going to be, you can't deny how cool Shuckle is. Shuckle's just a cool guy. Oh, this is a tough choice. Kingdra, also tough choice. Dark type, it's going to be Umbreon, actually. I chose Sneasel for ice. I'm glad I did because Umbreon is going to be my dark choice. And then Steelix is going to be my steel choice. And then we got some fairy options here. They're not good. They're actually all rather terrible. I'm going to go with Meryl, as you know, I'm a sucker for a round little guy. And then Totodile going to be my starter. Gonna go with Ampharos for my form. And then for the legend, I am going to go with... Did I choose Celebi? I did choose Celebi. So that means I'm going to go with Suicune for my Gen 2 round out there. Awesome. Let's go to Gen 3. Flying through this, honestly. Sorry if I'm going too fast for any of you guys, but I just want to make sure this video is not 2 hours long. We're going to go with normal type. I am a sucker for Swablu and Altaria. I also really like Vigoroth and Slacking. I'm going to go with Slacking for its pure power. Fire type, I forget how few there are in Gen 3 because it really doesn't feel like there's few. I feel like it's probably because a lot of people choose Torchic. And with that being said, I really like Torkoal. I think Torkoal is super fun to play with Sunny Day and Overheat, Eruption, all of those moves that can learn. Super fun. Water type, I am a big Milotic fan. I love Kyogre. I'm going to choose Milotic. That one I think is pretty... I'm going to go with that pretty wholeheartedly. Grass, I really like Trico. With that being said, I think I like Mudkip more than Trico. So I might choose Trico here and go Mudkip for my starter later. Electric type, that's only 4. I guess I'll go Manectric. Ice type, it's got to be the round one. I love Spheal. Spheal's so cute. Let's go with fighting type is going to be Breloom. Poison type is going to be... I'm going to go Swalot. I think Swalot's really fun. It's funny enough, I really like Swalot because of Pokemon Sleep. He's on my Pokemon Sleep team, and he just accumulates a ton of Dream Shards. It's a stupid reason, but I love him for that. Ground type. I always forget Nkata's ground. Vibrava, Trap, that whole line's cool. I'm going to go with Groudon for that, though. I think that it's not a bad thing to choose Legends, by the way. I don't care, because sometimes Legends are the coolest. Flying type is going to be Altaria. Psychic. I think Psychic's got to be Metagross. Metagross is badass. I am but a boy. I love me some Metagross. And then this is going to be Bug. And just for pure gimmick's sake, I love Shedinja. I love me a gimmick. Steel type, or this is Rock, and then we're going to go Ghost. Okay, so Rock is going to be Regirock. Ghost is going to be Sableye is awesome. Dragon is where the choices get tough, because let me tell you, I already chose Altaria, right? Yep, I chose Altaria. Flygon is amazing. I can choose Salamence is cool, but I don't think it's as cool as like the others that I'm... Rayquaza is probably going to be my legend. I'm going to go with... Yep, okay. Sometimes you just got to go with it. Dark types, Absol is the clear option. I don't think many people would disagree with that wholeheartedly. Steel type, I'm glad I saved Metagross from... Okay, I'm going to go with Aggron. Fairy type, Gardevoir's got to be the answer. And then starter, I chose that, so I'm going to go Mudkip. I think Torchic is the worst of the starters, and I'm, for the most part, going to be picking only first forms for the starter. Gimmicks, we've got a lot because of Mega Evolution, and I think the best one is probably going to be Mega Rayquaza. I think it's one of the best designed Pokemon of all time. And with that being said, I'm going to stray away from Rayquaza as a pick for my legend. And instead, I'm going to go with Kyogre. I think all 3 of these Pokemon are incredible, and I've actually now picked all 3 of them. So, Gen 4, normal type. I am a sucker for Porygon Z, and I am also a sucker for Bidoof. So with that being said, Bidoof wins. Bidoof is God. Fire type. Oh. It's like that, huh? I love Magmortar, actually. Magmortar's so cool. So not a huge fan of the Gen 4 Fire starter, if I'm being honest. Monkey is fun, but not something I ever choose. Water type, as far as these go, I think my favorite water type probably is Empoleon. I think Empoleon's super cool. And then, like I said, this might be my ground choice. I might come back to grass later if I don't think I have a ground option, but Torterra is so awesome. We're going to go a little rapid fire here in Gen 4. I'm a sucker for the cool-looking cat. I can't lie. He's awesome. Ice type, Weavile. Fighting type is going to be, I think, Gallade, purely for the fact that I love using him as a false swipe sleep catcher, something to help me catch Pokemon. And then we've got Poison, which I am going to choose Toxicroak or Krogunk, not Toxicroak. Ground type, that I'm glad actually I chose Torterra for the grass because I love Hippowdon. Hippowdon is such a fun Pokemon to use as a stall. Big boy using Earthquake. I think he's super cool. Flying type, I'm not in love with Gen 4 flying types now that I'm looking at them, but I do enjoy Chatot. I do enjoy Staraptor. I think Staraptor is just a solid option. Basic pick, though. And with that being said, I do like Gliscor as well. So I think I'm actually going to go with Gliscor. Psychic types. I think Cresselia is the coolest. Bronzong is super cool. I wouldn't say he's a favorite, but he's cool. I already picked Gallade, so with that, I'm going to go with Cresselia. Let's go bug type. I like me a little round guy, and I also like me a bee, so I'm going to go with that. I think Skorupi is a close second there. This is rocks, and with that, I am going to go with Shieldon. He's a little guy. Sometimes that's all you need is just a little guy. I'm going to go with Spiritomb for Ghost. Dragon, I am going to go with Origin Form. Dark type, we are going to go with Darkrai. Steel is going to be Dialga. And if I'm going to say it, this might be controversial. Lucario is an overrated Pokemon. It's overused and overrated. I'm sorry. I like Lucario, but it's overdone. It's overdone. Togekiss for Fairy. I don't love that it's just kind of like this flying blob. It doesn't have like real arms, but still cool. And then Turtwig's my obvious starter choice. Gimmick forms, we're going to go with, I think Garchomp is actually really cool. And then for legendaries, I've already gone this. I've already gone that. There. I think we got to go with God. I think Gen 4 is carried by its legendaries, and that's kind of indicative in my choices here. And we're back to Gen 5, the largest generation outside of Gen 1 with 151 new Pokemon. I'm not going to go with any of these stupid gimmicks that come in the TV or video, the movie shoots. But with that being said, Lillipup is my favorite normal type. I think for fire types, we've got to go with the Volcarona, baby. Volcarona's super cool. I love that it's a static encounter. Water types, pretty cool generation for water types, if I'm being honest. Pretty cool Pokemon here. Caracosta is very cool. I love the little guy. I'm going to go with the little guy. He's not my favorite starter. I actually really like Tepig as the starter. I don't like Tepig's second and third forms as much, but Tepig is awesome. And then grass types. We're going to go... Oh, this is probably an easy choice. I'm going to go with Yeah, I love Ferrothorn. I love using Ferrothorn in battle. I think it's a really fun Pokemon to use in a competitive setting. Electric. I have always been a Blitzel guy. I love Blitzel and Zipstrika for some reason. I think it's just because you catch them early and I used them in my first playthrough. Ice type. Ice cream. Yeah, we're gonna go with ice cream. Fighting. This is probably gonna be. I think Terrakion is gonna be my choice there. I don't know why I like him. I just do. I think he's just like kind of dumb looking in a good way. Scolipede for poison. Yeah, Scolipede for poison. Sandile is my favorite ground type in that generation for sure. I love Sandile. Flying type, I think we're gonna go. I'm gonna go with. I've always loved Sigilif's design. I've never really used it that much, but Sigilif has such a cool design. Psychic, we're gonna do. I don't hate Musharna. Musharna's cool. I'm gonna go with. Man, I'm gonna go Reuniclus. I like a little round guy. Bug type. I'm gonna go with Larvesta. Rock type. I'm gonna go with Archeops. Actually, I'm gonna go Carcosta. I think Carcosta is cooler. This is Ghost, right? Yeah, this is Ghost. I'm gonna go. I think that this is such a cool design. Cophagrigus is awesome. First time I saw it, I was awestruck. I was like, I cannot believe they made a Pokemon that's just a tomb. That's so cool. And I think Druddigon is honest to God one of the coolest designs, just not a very good Pokemon comes battle time. So not gonna go with that. I wait, I could. That's because for dark types, I'm gonna go nope, can't. Gotta go that for dark type. I gotta go Hydreigon. And I got to go Zorua. I like the first evolution there. Steel types, we're going to go with that boy for competitive purposes. I didn't choose Whimsicott for grass because I knew it was the only fairy. And then for starters, I do like Tepig gimmick forms. We only have 2 to choose from because I'm not choosing these gimmicks. And Garbodor is way better. And then lastly, I am going to go with Reshiram for the legendary in Gen 5. It's going pretty well. That was a pretty quick generation. Gen 6, normal types. And this is going to include Mega Evolutions because those were introduced and they technically are, I guess they consider them as their own on this list. I don't know if I do, so I don't know how much I'll pick them. But for this generation, I might just go with Mega Pidgeot because I do think that that's a cool choice. I contradict myself. I said I might not pick Megas, and then I picked one, but I definitely am not going to be picking a Mega and Fire types because I am a big enjoyer of Talonflame. Water types. Origin form is sick. Clauncher and Clawitzer are really cool. Skrelp is an awesome choice, but I like Froakie. And do I want to choose Froakie as my starter maybe? Yeah, I think I do. We're going to ignore Froakie here, and we're going to go with Clauncher. No. Never been a fan of the Chespin line, personally. I think that it's kind of weird looking, and I don't really like the evolution. It's kind of a weird transition. With that being said, Trevenant's going to be my choice. Electric type, we've got a bunch of stupid little Pikachu forms, which, whatever, it's kind of fun. But I am a fan of, I think Deden doesn't get enough love, personally. And then ice types, I don't like Bergmite or Avalugg very much, and I think that the big boy looks cool. I am going to go with Aurorus. Fighting types, we're going to fly through a couple here. Hawlucha, Dragalge for poison because it's the only option that's not a Mega. And then for ground, this is ground type, right? Yep, ground. We are going to go with not you. We're going to go Zygarde. Flying is a bunch of Vivillon forms, and yeah, it's kind of got to be Yveltal, honestly. Psychic types, pretty underwhelming amount. There's only 6, 7 to choose from. Hoopa Unbound is ridiculous. I forget how crazy that looks. With that being said, I actually really do like that Pokemon. That is cool. And I'm blanking on the name for some reason. Fennekin, Braxian, Delphox. Gosh, why couldn't I draw a blank there? Bug type. Wow. So I'll have to choose Vivillon, and I'm going to go with the Pokeball form because why not? Actually, I think this one looks really cool. Just seeing it now for the first time. Let's go rock type. It's going to be Tyrantrum. Ghost, I'm going to choose Aegislash. Dark, or this is Dragon, and then Dark. Dragon, I'm going to choose Noivern. Dark will be, yeah, it's kind of got to be Greninja. And then this is Steel type. And I feel like people kind of hate on it, but I like Klefki. I can't lie. I like it. I like it a lot. And Xerneas is probably my favorite Pokemon of this generation, but I'm going to choose Sylveon because I'm going to choose Froakie here. And then gimmick form, we have way too many to choose from because it's Gen 6. And with that being said, I really like Mega Mewtwo Y, I think, is going to be my choice. And finally, to round out Gen 6, we've got the Legends, and I'm going with Xerneas. Very cool Pokemon. I chose Pokemon X because of that. I think deer are really cool, and I'm a sucker for them. Why not? Gen 7, normal. We got Drampa Love in the house. And for Fire type, honest to God, Torracat is awesome. Salazzle is awesome. Turtonator's cool as hell. Alolan Marowak, awesome. I'm going to go with Torracat. I like the middle evolution. It's one of my favorite middle evolutions in the game. For water type, I really like Toxapex, mostly from using him in battle. Let's see here. Big fan of the starter line. Rowlet's going to be my starter choice. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Decidueye. We're going to go with, for electric, I can't explain it, but Zeraora is cool, but he's very Lucario coded. He gives me the same vibes, and I'm not a big fan of Lucario in general. I think Lucario is fine. With that being said, we're going to go Vikavolt. We're going to go with Alolan Sandslash. I will do regionals. I don't care. I will choose regionals in this. Fighting type. I think we're going to go with Komodo. I'm trying to remember. Hakamo, Komodo, and Jangmo. Yeah. I always get the names mixed up there because they're all so similar. We got poison types, and I will do Salazzle for that. Ground types, we've got a very limited pool here, and I'm going to go with Mudsdale, I guess. Flying, I think Picky Peck is probably my flying choice because I think he's one of the better starting birds, design-wise at least. I don't know. He's pretty cool. Psychic types, we're going to go with Solgaleo. Bugs, I already chose Vikavolt. I think I'm going to choose Buzzwole. He's a cool guy. Rock is going to be Dusk Form. Ghost, I've already chosen. I'm going to go with Mimikyu. Dragon type, we are going to go with, I think we'll go with Naganadel. And then Dark, we will choose... We'll choose Incineroar. I like using Incineroar in Smash, so that's probably my only basis there. Steel types, we're going to do... Already chose that. Don't like Melmetal that much. Already chose that. We're going to go with Magearna, and I'm working towards a Pokeball Magearna, so I guess I'll choose that because I think it's a cool form to work towards. Fairy type. Lowland Ninetales. Starter, we've got my round little guy. Gimmick form. Disgusting. But with that being said, I'm going to go with a Alolan Raichu. I didn't choose that already, did I? Okay, I couldn't remember. Didn't think so. And then for Legendary, I think that there's a lot of options here, certainly. I've never played Moon, so I've never really used Lunala, but I'm going to go with Silvally. I think it doesn't get enough love. I think Silvally is really cool. Gen 8 normal type, and the fact that these get to be in normal is kind of unfair because I've got to go with Zorua with the normal type there from Legends Arceus. Fire type, this is also pretty unfair because Hisuian Typhlosion is awesome. Water type, and I think I've got to go with the fish here. Dracovish is awesome. It's so ridiculous in a good way. Grass types, Hisuian Decidueye is unfair. God, the Hisuians really carry. I love these compared to a lot of the options here. I love Rillaboom, so I think I'm actually going to choose Rillaboom there. Poison type, or this is electric, not poison. I saw all these and thought poison. Electric type, we're going to go with Toxtricity. Ice type, we're going to go with Galarian Darmanitan. That is the boy right there. Look at him. Belly Drum, destroy you. Fighting type, that's where I am going to select Hisuian Decidueye. This is poison type. I am going to choose not great options. I'm going to choose Slowbro. Ground, I liked using Silicobra and Sandaconda, so I'm going to choose that. We've got Steel type, or this is Flying type. The color looked like steel, but that's over. Yeah, it's got to be Articuno. Galarian Articuno is super cool. And then for Psychic, Orbeetle. Orbeetle's probably my choice. I love Orbeetle. Bug type. Cleavor is cool. He might be my rock choice, though. I'm going to go with Cleavor. Arcanine. Hisuian Arcanine is going to be my choice here. As far as ghosts go, Dragapult. Dragon. Yeah, Dragon is a good choice, is a tough choice. I'm going to go with we'll go with Applin. I like Applin. He's just an apple. Just a little apple. And then we got Dark type. I think that is the clear choice in my opinion. Love the Impidimp line. Steel, we are going to go with Zacian. Fairy, we are going to do is there another option here? No, we're gonna keep that, and we're gonna go with that. And for starter, I like Grookey the most, and the gimmick forms, we've got a ton of options to choose from, but I think that the coolest gimmick form in Gen 8 is probably, I think Cinderace standing on his fiery soccer ball is really cool. And then for Legends, I've already chosen that. And there's a lot of options, actually. I didn't realize how many there were, but I think Galarian Moltres is probably the coolest one. Let's go one more generation, and then we get to pick our favorites. Cyclizar, we're going to go fast on this one. Fire types, it's going to be Armor Rouge. Water type, Walking Wake is cool. Tatsugiri, Dondozo's cool. I think Dondozo's probably my favorite. We're going to go Palafin. Not the hero mode because, well, no, we are. I like him. I like him a lot. Grass. And with grass, I think my favorite is probably Wo-Chien. I like Slug. I like the Slug guy. Really cool Pokemon. Better than all the rest of the options. Ice types, I'm going to go with Satitan. Fighting types, I'm going to go with Annihilate. Very obvious choice for me. This is Poison. I like Clodsire. Clodsire is my boy. And then for ground type, Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to be my choice. For flying, I will choose... There we go. Flamigo. Psychic type, I really enjoy that. And... Gosh, bug type. I think my option kind of has to be Rabsca or Slitherwing. I'm going to do Slitherwing. And then I like Cloth. And for ghost type, Ceruledge, Annihilate, I already chose. Houndstone's cool. Fluttermane. God, this is a really stacked one. I'm going to go Ceruledge. For dragon, I will choose Koraidon. Actually, I'm going to choose Roaring Moon. Stay with me there. For dark type, I will choose Meowscarada. Fairy or Steel. This is Steel. I like... I think my favorite's going to be that. Fairy type is going to be Tinkaton. Starter is going to be Quaxley. Gimmick form is going to go for... This is gimmick form. Yep, gimmick form. I think Wiglet is hilarious. And for legend, I will choose Koraidon. Alrighty, so I'm going to ignore... no, let's do it. Favorite normal type. Through all the gens, I will choose Snorlax as my favorite normal type. Fire type, my favorite fire type. I'm actually going to go with Armarouge. Favorite ice type or water type. My favorite water type throughout all the games is going to be... It's going to be a Azumarill, actually. Favorite grass type is going to be... It's going to be Torterra. Favorite electric type. I think I'm going to go with Mareep. Favorite ice type. We are going to choose... This seems so odd to actually be choosing this, but I love Galarian Darmanitan. That's my boy. Favorite fighting type is going to be Annihilate. Favorite poison type. I'm going to go with Clodsire. I think Clodsire is my favorite poison type. Favorite of the ground types of all time is going to be Sandile. Favorite flying type. I think it's going to be Pidgeot or Lugia. But I think I'm going to go with Pidgeot. Gosh, I'm going to come back to that. Pidgeot. Yep, we're gonna stick to it. Favorite psychic type. I am but a boy. I am a boy, therefore I like Metagross. It is what it is. Bugs, we are gonna go with... Oh gosh. I feel less confident in Cleavor, but I like Cleavor a lot. And it's, you know what's funny enough? I actually am going to choose Scyther. And as you notice, I have Scizor and Cleavor in there. So pretty fitting. I didn't mean to do that. It just happened. Rocks. For rock type, we're going to go with Regirock. And let's keep going. We've got ghost types. I think that this one is going to be Dragapult. Favorite dragon. This is a stacked lineup as well. But I think my favorite dragon type is going to be Kingdra. Favorite dark type, and we're going to exclude the glitched Kabutops because Gen 1 has no dark types. Favorite dark type is going to be, I think, Zorua or Umbreon. I'm going to go with Umbreon. With that being said, we're going to steel types, and I think that steel type has a lot of really cool Pokemon, but I think my favorite is Excadrill. I've used him the most competitively. That's probably the only reason I'm saying that. Fairy type. I like Togekiss. I am what I am. Favorite starter. So it looks like we've got 4 grass, 4 water, and 1 fire at the end of the day. That's not to say those are my first choices in the games when I played them for the first time, but my favorite starter is Totodile. Always has been, always will be. It's my favorite Pokemon. So we'll see where it gets. Favorite gimmick, Mega Rayquaza. Favorite legend is actually Xerneas. It's Xerneas. Alrighty, so we've got our favorite Pokemon of each type. Now we've got our favorite Pokemon from each generation. And these can be the same as the ones I picked for the type at the bottom. So we are going to go favorite Gen 1. And for that, we are going to choose I Am But a Boy. I'm going to choose Mewtwo. Favorite Gen 2, it's not even an option. It's Totodile. Gen 3 is going to be I Am But a Boy. It's Metagross. It's going to be Metagross. All right, so Gen 4, we've got really good options. I think at the end of the day, I can't really contradict myself in a couple of these categories. Trying to remember where I chose something. Okay, I'm going to choose Giratina. It's badass. It's amazing. Gen 5. It's weird to say it, but it's Sandile. I love Sandile a lot. He's a very cute guy. He's just a little alligator. Just a little gator boy. Gen 6, we are going to go with... I think we're going to go Xerneas. Xerneas is my favorite Pokemon from Gen 6. Therefore, it kind of has to win that and my favorite legend. Gen 7. My favorite Pokemon from Gen 7 is probably Decidueye. Gen 8 seems pretty cool to me. There's a lot of cool Pokemon here. All right. I think Gen 8's got to be... God, Darmanitan's so cool. I'm going to choose Zoria. Hisuian Zoria. Gen 9. This is so funny to me that this is even slightly in the contention, but I love Cyclizar a lot. I think Cyclizar is really fun to use. Clodsire, Annihilate, Cyclizar. A lot of these ended up just being on my competitive team that I battled online with. I'm going to go with Annihilate. And then, by golly, favorite Pokemon of all time, it's not even a question, is Totodile. And I know there's a bunch of stuff to choose down here. I'm not going to do a team. I'm going to download this, pull it up, and we are going to crop it to take out the bottom. And we're going to save it as this. So let's get back to what I've got going here. Here is my photo strung across the screen so you can all see it. As a reminder, favorite Pokemon of each type. We've got Snorlax, Armarouge, Azumarill, Torterra, Mareep, Galarian Darmanitan, Annihilate, Clodsire, Sandile, Pidgeot, Metagross, Scyther, Regirock, Dragapult, Kingdra, Umbreon, Excadrill, Togekiss, Totodile, Mega Rayquaza, and Xerneas. Favorite Pokemon from each generation. Mewtwo, Totodile, Metagross, Giratina, Sandile, Xerneas. We've got Decidueye, Zorua, and Annihilate. And finally, my favorite Pokemon of all time is Totodile. He's my boy. He always has been. I'm going to hide this window capture here. So that is my list. I could probably do that tomorrow and I'd have a different list. My favorite Pokemon are very fluid, but these are all very good Pokemon. They're all Pokemon that I loved using. And with that being said, I really enjoyed doing this episode because it's just kind of fun to think about it for a second, because I feel like everyone's like, oh, my favorite Pokemon is this, my favorite Pokemon is that. And they don't think about all the types and all the gens. And I think it was really cool to see some of the Pokemon I played with and be reminded of why I love them so much. And a couple of them I hadn't really thought of before this, but they are in that list now. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 all the YouTube stuff. But outside of that, going to wrap up the episode here. I will be back next week for another and hope to see you there. Thanks so much.